boys have a couple of their friends around today, so I'm going to make them a nice warm morning tea. And I'm going to make an apple and pecan cake with hot caramel sauce. Today I'm using Pink Lady apples. You could use Granny Smith apples or really anything you've got in the fruit bowl. I love to try and use up the fruit that the kids aren't interested in eating anymore. Like once it's got a little bruise on it, they don't go anywhere near it. So it's good to be able to cook with it so it doesn't go to waste. So I've chopped up the apples. I'm going to chop up some pecans now. These only need to be roughly chopped. And as you chop pecans, you'll find that some go into really little shards and some are big chunks. That's all fine. Just throw those in the bowl with the apples. You might need to stop and just scrape the sides of the bowl down every now and again to make sure that everything mixes up properly. So it's nice and pale and fluffy. That's exactly where I want it. I'm going to put the apples and the pecans into that and give it a good stir. Okay, so I've got the apples and the pecans and the creamed butter and sugar and eggs there. I've just got to get the dry ingredients ready. For this cake, I don't want it to rise a whole lot. I want it to be quite nice and flat. So I'm going to use 1/4 cup of self-raising flour and then 3/4 cup of plain flour. And that way it'll give it a little bit of a lift but not too much. A teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg because that's quite a strong aroma and flavour, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Just to make sure that that's all evenly distributed, I just give it a stir with a wire whisk. Because once you put the flour in with the wet ingredients, you don't want to stir it too much. The more you work the flour, the more the gluten in the flour sort of tightens up and you end up with a chewy cake. For this I'm using a non-stick springform tin just because it eliminates the worry about things coming out at the end. I just trace a circle of baking paper, roughly. I'm just going to snip just inside that circle so that it fits nicely into the tin. A little spray with oil is all this needs because it's a non-stick tin, and that'll help the baking paper to stay nice and flat on the bottom. And now the batter goes in, and again because it's sort of a chunky dry batter, you've got to spread it around and make it as level as you can. So that's about as level as it's going to get, and I'll just pop a few of these reserved pecans around the edges. This isn't really necessary, but I love the way the ones on top go really nice and brown and toasty, so I do like to put a few on top. There we go. So that's the cake. I'm going to put that into the oven, which I did remember to preheat, at 170 degrees, and it takes about an hour. So what I've got here is just the other half of the block of butter that went into the cake, so 125 grams. It's really easy to remember the measurements of this too, because it's half, half and half. Half a block of butter, 1/2 cup of cream, and 1/2 cup of brown sugar. And all that needs to happen there is for that to melt down and come to the boil, and then you turn it off. Okay, so that's been boiling away for about a minute or so, and it's become this beautiful golden caramel colour, and it smells absolutely divine. That cake is starting to smell cooked. I can smell that sugar, so I'm going to go and have a look at it. Wow. So it's got a beautiful, like, sugary crust on top, which is what you want. It's come away from the sides of the pan a little bit, so along with the smell, the cooked smell of butter and sugar, I can see that it's cooked as well. So to get the bottom off, I'm going to do my cake inverting trick. Just put another wire rack on top, very gently flip it upside down. Lift off the bottom and peel off that baking paper. With that beautiful golden colour on the bottom as well. And then I'm just going to put it back the right way up so the top of my cake doesn't end up with the wire wrap pattern all over it. I just let that cool down a little bit before I'll get the kids in here to taste it.